Hello, all you sleepy sloths and certified service foxes. Welcome to a show that introduces you to an exploratory expedition into the fuzzy-wuzzy world of the furry fandom. For what it's worth.
Wisconsin, Texas.
In today's episode, open up YouTube and get that 1 hour long fragrance of dark coffee and rainy mood with extra thunder.
Bananaconda.
As we de-escalate the ways of stress to destress, if you will.
Only certain cookies can be part of this new regime.
As we talk about wellness and the ways we go about lowering those pesky feelings of anxiety and stress.
Woo, welcome to my quest womb.
So mute those Twitter and Telegram notifications, unplug from the overly social media.
Where's the show gone?
And take a mental break with us as we take a deep breath and relax.
That was very nice, Charlie. Thank you for that lovely introduction. I feel relaxed already, and we haven't even started this episode.
Yeah, I'm good. Let's
Yeah,
go.
that's it.
I think we got it.
All I would need to be able to de-stress is just have a 6 hour Charlie speaking into a microphone that I could just just listen.
Oh, shit.
Isn't there an app for that where it's like celebrities or something and they're just like reading things and it's supposed to be like a relaxation app?
I guess. I mean,
Oh,
unless
I know
that's
what you're
ran
talking
by
about.
AI, but then they start to want you to take over the world and stuff like that.
Yeah, or mispronounce words. That's like the most frustrating thing with people who use AI voices on YouTube videos and stuff is they mispronounce like the easiest words, and it's so frustrating.
Well, how has everybody been doing? It's been a little bit of time. I mean, we got together last week with all of our lovely patrons to do our patron game night. But let's start with the person that always has tons of things that are going on at all moments in time. Always something new. Click. What's been going on?
So much. Oh my God, you have no idea.
Really? Wow.
Whoa.
Tell us, Click.
I've been waking up in the morning
Oh,
Mhm.
and going to work,
no way.
and then I come home from work
Wow.
and have dinner,
Wow.
Ooh, nice.
and then go to bed.
Ah,
My favorite
that's-
pastime.
That's so exciting. You live such an amazing schedule. You have so much going on. I love it. Any games that
That's
you've been
about it.
playing?
Not really.
Yeah.
Still in limbo.
Honestly, I haven't been on anything since we played with the patrons.
Well, what
have you been
during the
doing
week-
otherwise?
What did we play with the
The-
patrons then?
Couple Discord games. Speaking of AI, that game was kind of lame.
What you didn't
Yeah.
like? You didn't like Death by AI. Why didn't you like Death by AI?
Well, because it had no, that's the problem with AI, right? There's no invention. There's no improv, right? It basically it's an AI game where it gives you a scenario and says, what do you do? Like you're trapped in a sinking car or you're trapped in a burning building. What do you do? And you can't be creative or inventive with it because every time we were creative or funny,
You were
we just died.
Okay, excuse me. There was one time that it was like, how do you survive a grizzly bear attack? Okay, and what was your response? That was creative. You basically
That was the one example. The one exception, I guess. Yeah, it was.
So what you ended up saying is you wined and dined and
No, I said I used my excellent seductive powers or something, my excellent charm to seduce the bear into a long life of happiness and solitude together. And it was like, okay, yeah, that works.
It was like, Click wines and dines the bear. And basically they went off and lived together in the woods. But if it was anything too, like, outlandish, it had to be...
It was pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
You know,
if
I
you
got
use
out,
terms
I
that-
broke the window and got out of the car, and
Yeah.
it's like, okay, yeah, that worked, or it didn't because you threw cookies at the window and it didn't do anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did try to survive by cookies a lot of times, and it never worked. Rue
Nope.
died every single time.
Yeah.
It was
And if you use terms it didn't know, it was like, I don't know, you're dead.
Yeah,
yeah.
we tried to. A couple people, Voss tried to throw in some references, and it just didn't
Well,
pick up
it's
on them.
because Voss, you can speak to this. You put natural 20. You instead of putting
A nat
natural 20, you put nat 20, and that not everybody even knows that. But I think if you would have said natural 20, I think that the AI would have picked up on it. But I don't know. It doesn't know slang.
Yeah,
But it knows furries and furry convention and
yeah,
fursuit.
it did pick up on that.
So that's why I was surprised it didn't know nat 20.
But yeah, other than that, I haven't really, sucks when you work 13 to 14 hours a day.
Well, you're like a supervisor. You're like a manager.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's exactly what you
Yeah.
wanted and what you strived in life is to, have people that are under you that,
To be middle management.
yeah, to basically have to tell people what upper management wants you to feed to them.
Pretty much. But that means I have to be there the whole time.
Ugh.
Yay. Well, let's go to your significant other. Voss, what have you been up to? I was wondering, does Voss breathe underwater? It says on the show notes, like, does Voss breathe underwater?
According to Death by AI, no. All I do is flop around and do a verb called porpoise and in parentheses and then die.
Yeah, that's what you did in
It does-
that game. You really loved that game. Out of anybody, you really loved Death by AI. I could tell.
Oh yeah, I loved trying to be creative and come up with interesting scenarios, and it just be like, no, you didn't be straightforward, so dead. And other than that, I've been doing literally the same thing: wake up, go to work, come home, eat dinner, and haven't been playing any games. All I've been doing is watching true crime.
Ooh, true crime is
on
fun.
What you
YouTube.
watching?
Murder porn.
Yes.
Murder porn. Just bored things, just whatever I come across.
Well,
And
if you ever
that's
need
all
someone
I've
to
been doing.
chat about that with, just message the bunny.
Yeah. Yeah, we can have discussions about all the murders.
Wait,
Uh-huh.
who's the bunny?
My bunny.
What's your bunny?
Who?
Yeah, who is your bunny?
The bunny with the power.
My bunny.
What power?
The power of voodoo.
Voodoo.
You do what?
You remind me of the bunny.
I saw my bunny hopping around as she could hop.
Perfect.
So, Sammy, what have you been up to?
What? I don't know. There's a weird note on here. I don't know who wrote that. Something about pie holes. I don't know how you have a pie hole. Like, I know how you have a donut hole,
Yeah.
like the middle of the donut. I don't know how you have a pie hole.
But it says specifically, does Sammy like pie holes?
But I don't know what a pie hole is.
I don't
It's when
know.
you
How
stick
can I
your
like something
thumb
if I don't know what it is?
in the center and you pull out the center of the pie.
Oh, then
Pull
you're
out-
just
pull out
an
a
evil
plum.
person.
Delicious.
If you just like eat out of the middle of the pie, you're just bad.
This is facts.
Well, besides
Uh,
avoiding pie, what else do you like? Or what else has been going on?
What else do I like? Well, so nothing real crazy. Just the day to day. Almost done with a Realm Reborn main story quest on Final Fantasy 14. I'm in the after story stuff between the two what is it? The two expansions. So between Realm Reborn and whatever the next expansion is. So getting through on that. I watched Godzilla -1 last week.
How did you watch
and
it?
It's how?
Yeah.
On my TV.
I know.
It's on Netflix.
Oh, it's on Netflix? Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it dropped on
I looked at it with my eyeballs, and there were images moving on a screen.
Yeah.
No
With sound.
way!
With sound.
You
and
can-
people going,
You can you can do that nowadays? I had no idea.
Man,
I know.
technology's evolved since the last time I entered this century.
Eyes are great.
Yes. So yeah, watch that, and it was so good. It was really good. Like if you like Godzilla movies or monster movies, watch it. Definitely. I understand why the people who got to see it in the theater were very hyped about it. It's really, really good. So other than that, that's just being day to day, getting through, doing a party.
What type of
Being
party?
tired from the party. You know the type of party, the type of party that we have.
Those type of parties, huh?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Fun party.
Fun party.
Fun parties.
What about you, Rue? You're not getting out of this.
What?
Nope.
I was gonna go through this whole segment. I skipped myself a couple of times because nobody turned it over. So thank you, Click. I appreciate you.
No problem. I got you, fam.
Yeah, awesome. Well, hey, I have been doing a lot. Like I think that I have lost my sleep schedule because I have done way. I've turned into a crazy fox. I've been just doing so many things because I have been doing ferality. So it's interesting getting ready for a virtual furry convention because instead of you packing your fursuit and getting all those things, ready, instead it's like, okay, all right, this is broken on my avatar. What do I need to fix? What do I need to upgrade? What do I need to do with X, Y, and Z? Who do I need to contact to get this figured out? And trying to work on a few things with getting ready has been interesting. But going to the con itself, it's just been amazing. Overall, I really enjoyed last year's theme a little bit more. A lot of people have been stating that when they go to the virtual meeting world, it blinds you. So basically, the sun is so bright, it's like you're in this desert. And that was what they were going for. But it's so bright that it's like, people are like, "Where's my sunglasses? Where's my shades?" But the club has been pretty fun. Just going over there dancing in my underwear with the headset on, running around being a silly fox. And
I was going to say that's probably better than going to an actual con because then you just get to be, in your own level of dress while you're in VR.
yeah, you could be naked.
You could be naked the entire time and nobody knows.
Nope. Nobody knows at all. So, but I've been just enjoying myself. It's been a very fun convention. In fact, it's, instead of being at Ferality, I am here talking in this microphone at this very moment. So, but yeah, I've been having fun and been enjoying it and hanging out with friends and making new ones. It's interesting. I talked to a guy from Argentina the other day and then somebody else that was from Germany, and I'm like, these are people that I never ever in my life would have met otherwise. So it's cool.
Hey, Rue, I have a question.
Yeah, what's up?
Did you pimp the show to them?
Maybe a little. I've
Good.
kind of pushed a couple things like, I'm a podcaster. Derp-a-der.
Why don't you check this out and see what it's worth for what it's worth?
About.
So I actually ran into the maker of the furry museum, and I got a chance to talk to him a little bit, and he's like, yeah, if you ever want me to come on to the show and like talk and stuff like that, like he would love to come on. But anyways, we don't need to talk about that right now. Charlie, what have you been up to?
Oh, well, let's see. Nothing super exciting on my end. I went to Pride last weekend, and it was better than last year in the sense of less corporate mongrel.
Oh my goodness,
it was still there, but it was not as bad this year, I think, personally.
I agree 100%.
It was fun. I got some really funny pins. Like, I have a pin that's fry sauce and french fries, the pink frosted sugar cookie that everyone loves and or hates, depending on who you are. Other kinds of fun goodies. And I just finished Paper Mario, the Thousand Year Door remake. That was a really super good remake. I loved everything about it. The additional animations, the extra frames they added, the way they did the music choices, how in every battle and every section you are, the battle music changes based on the theme of where you are, so it's more delightful than instead of just the normal track, which was already a banger, but then to hear that normal banger of a track get merged into the environment, like when you're in Bogley Woods and it kind of has more of a kind of like a harmonious battle take. And if you're down in the creepy steeple in the haunted levels, there's pipe organs. It's more eerie. It's more spooky, but it still has the same rhythm, and it's very good. It's very, very good.
That's awesome.
It's good stuff. And then other than that, I'm just getting ready for the trip to San Francisco is Saturday.
Oh yeah, what are you going to be doing at San Francisco?
We're going to be celebrating a gray-scaled Mutt turning another year older, and we're going to go to tiki bars, the Winchester Mystery House, Alcatraz Night Tours, Great America Theme Park, Ghirardelli Chocolate Factory, Walt Disney Family Museums, and all the basic sightseeings like the funny curvy road and the Golden Gate, and also ride all the trolleys because the trolleys are cool.
So can you do me one favor when you go out there?
Yes.
Can you get me a cookie and bring it back? Because I'm really hungry right now. It'd be good.
I'll see what I can do.
Speaking of cookies, I have a cookie for us today.
What a transition.
I know. It's so good. My segues are getting even better every day.
It's a good thing everyone said yes to accepting cookies on this website.
So, this is what the fortune says for today. Get off to a new start. Come out of your shell in bed with a cookie.
That can mean two things in this month.
Well, it could also mean, maybe your persona is a turtle. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Do you know any turtle sonas?
No. I wish that there was. That would be
I think there should be more turtles.
Yeah, we should have
I don't think I know many.
Like the alternate Ninja Turtle person.
Okay, now that we got Rue out of the damn cookie bag.
What? I just really needed something. But
you only need one. You don't need more than
I
that.
need all of them. 100%. I love them.
All
They're so
of them,
good.
all the time.
That's why I have diabetes. Okay.
Wow.
A diabetes.
So, on that note, we're talking about stress. Yay!
Yay! Stress. This is going to be a very stressful episode. Yeah.
I'm so wound up. Can you hear the tension in my voice?
Yeah, your key's about to run low. Do you want me to wind it back up again? Who's opening the door?
That's
Who's
my tension.
sneaking in?
That's my tension coming in.
Well, it's coming out.
Do you guys have any bags that we can hyperventilate in, to help de-stress?
I got a bottle of water.
I don't think I've ever hyperventilated.
I have.
I don't-
I was gonna say, I don't think I've ever hyperventilated unless an asthma attack
No.
counts.
Well, to kick all this off, we have an amazing audio file that was sent to us through was going to be SpeakPipe, but it was sent to us by yeah, well, you know what? We'll just jump right in. Wow, that segue was really good.
That was
That's
awesome.
so
Rue.
good.
Excellent.
Here,
S tier.
let me restart. We have this amazing audio file that was sent to us by a listener. Here we go.
Salutations for what it's worth, crew. Relaxation, de-stressing, and a general sense of calmness. This is what almost every mentally functioning adult needs in their lives, especially after a long day of work. In my case, I get at least 2 hours a day. At most. Some folks drink their troubles away. Some consume legal drugs. Some others may engage in activities that require more of a physical undertaking, such as sports ball. Blech. Whatever the case may be, de-stressing is a vital ingredient to ensuring one's mental fortitude. So, without anyone's consent, I shall share 3 methods that I personally utilize to achieve a sense of peace in my life. One way would be to chat with friends. Believe it or not, I have friends. Well, now I do, anyway. I find that if you have a willing ear for one to wail their problems into, it can take a heavy weight off of one's brain. Surround yourself with willing affiliates. It definitely helps. Another method, and this is a more personal one for me, is gaming. It doesn't entirely matter what game I'm playing, as long as I'm focused in on it and enjoying what I'm doing. A deep story can suck one's mind into the game first you're partaking in, or maybe even a mindless violent excursion can satisfy one's need for an emotional release. My other way would be to take those earbuds, or noise-canceling headphones, if applicable, and let my mind wander as my personal collection of music allows me to let go of my hold on this realm and into one of imagination. I can't tell you how many times I've thought of ways to both add on to and improve my stories by letting my music be my guide into my own personal world that I've built with my beloved. Or sometimes if I'm just in the mood for a particular song, it becomes my hyperfixation, and thus is played on repeat. Ad nauseum. However, these are just my own personal way of doing things. I know others read books, watch movies, or just get drunk. But I suppose there is no wrong way to de-stress, as long as it's not harmful to oneself or anyone else. So, seeing as how I've taken up too much time, I will leave with one final random factoid. Remember, it is okay to have a good cry. Whether it's silent sobbing or ugly crying, don't feel bad about letting it all go. Afterwards, it can help organize your thoughts and help you deal with whatever it is you're having trouble with. With that, I wish to thank you all for taking the time out of your day to listen to me just ramble on. So, for now, au revoir, my mutuals. I'm gonna go look at some femboys.
Well, thank you so much for sending
Well,
that
that-
in. That was amazing. That was really good.
That's
That's
the episode,
it.
right? We're done. Okay. Cool.
We're
Thanks,
done.
Eli.
That's good. Gone through everything. Well, thank you for the advice. Thank you for sending that in. That was pretty epic. So I think that your advice, and it really set the tone of the episode. So I thought it was good to start there, before we dive into the subject itself. So let's go ahead and dive deep into this particular subject. So what do you guys feel that stresses you out the most? What are
Rue.
Yeah, I stress you out. I mean, it's true. If you saw the word anxiety in a dictionary, my picture would show up right there. Because I am a ball full of stress, 100%. So I'll be honest with you, this episode was my idea. I am stressed out. I have a lot of things that I'm a part of. I burn my candles out on both ends. And then there are just some days that I'm like, you know what? Fuck everything. And I just throw everything in the air. I have actually had anxiety attacks before. I've had situations where at work somebody shared something extremely detailed And usually I have good barriers or, good things set up to basically help me to not, have, but I've had to pull off of the side of the road and have an outright panic attack where I'm just like breathing like super hard. And yeah, I've had those moments. So you're right. Click 100%. I am stressed and I am a very stressed out person.
No, I just meant you stress me out.
Well, yeah, that's what I was thinking he was going to say.
That's something that happens. Emotions kind of like get pushed out to other people. So you're right. Sometimes that happens as well.
No, honestly, I don't know anybody that's an adult that can't say like work is number one, right? Like most,
Yeah.
I don't know anybody who doesn't get stressed out at work. At least, well, I don't know. Maybe not stressed out like completely, but it's definitely a big contributor.
Well, and it's a major part of most adults. Work is the thing that manages everything. If you don't have work, you don't have income. You don't have income, you don't have the things you need, the money you need to pay for the things you need. And so it definitely is I think it's more of a catalyst than some other things are most of the time, especially for day-to-day stresses and more of the regular stress of life that people kind of expect to have.
Yeah. I mean, I've always, I don't know, the number one thing that stresses me out when it comes to work is when your boss says, we need to talk.
That's
When
the emotional
anybody says
crit.
that, it doesn't have to be a boss, a partner, a friend. I hate that phrase.
I hate that phrase too.
Everybody hates that phrase because it's so ambiguous, right? We need to talk. If don't ever text me that. We need to talk. If we need to talk, you need to tell me what it's about.
It's almost as bad as a furry just randomly messaging you and just saying, hi.
Hi.
Another
I
emotional
mean-
crit.
No, I would say we need to talk is worse.
That one is worse because with
Yeah.
the highs,
That one's worse because it's typically somebody you know. It's typically something that's probably important or someone that's probably important.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then it's just, we need to talk. And then you go, about what? Oh my God.
Right.
Then your brain goes 50 million miles an hour as you're trying to decipher your last 12 months of conversation, going, where did I go wrong? What did I do?
Lost a friend.
And then it's like, oh yeah, just by the way, I really love the way you did that thing. And you're like, why didn't you just tell me that?
So, in other words, what I'm hearing is, in some way or form, we are all balls of stress.
Yes.
Yay.
Mm.
Welcome to being an
Yay,
adult.
adulting.
Adulting
I don't
sucks.
like it.
Adulting sucks so hard.
You know, the other thing that I hate with work is performance reviews, where it's like, they have like this checklist of like, you did well on this, and you did well on this. But guess what? You didn't do well on this, so therefore it doesn't matter at all. Like,
Right. Well, I had this conversation with one of our other mechanics a while ago, and it's like I hate performance reviews because we do them. Typically, we do them annually. I think most people do. You know, but it's like if I'm doing something wrong, or if I'm not doing something enough, or you know what I mean. If there's something wrong, just tell me. Don't hold on to it for a year and then pile it all on me at once.
Here, 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 here.
Well, yeah, and especially if, say, in your line of work, Click, you're being a mechanic, and it's something that I don't know, maybe the part's not getting put in properly, and they're like, we're just going to wait till the performance review. That could be a problem.
Yeah. Well, no, it's not. Usually, obviously being in a shop, that environment's different than a lot of people have, right? Because our performance reviews, because that's just it. If it's something that's actually like hands-on related, that's something that we handle right now because it's an issue. Usually, anything that's bad as far as performance review goes is attendance, tardiness, fucking around, horseplay, that kind of stuff. Which I get, right? But it's like, don't hold on to it and then just attack me in one day.
So, Voss.
If there's a problem, say something.
So Voss, what is it like when your boss gives you your performance review?
Different boss.
Oh, it's a different boss?
Different boss.
Yeah, he actually goes to the shop manager.
See, he's middle management. I have to go to upper management for my review.
That's also the nice
Ooh
thing,
la
right?
la.
I don't have to do performance reviews.
Because you're middle manager?
Yeah.
Nice. You're the one who gets to tell people,
I
hey.
just have to crack the whip daily.
So,
I mean, you're pretty good with whips, right?
Chains and whips excite him. Nah, come on.
So Char, what?
Wow.
What stresses you at work?
Well, for those who don't know, I'm a light rail train operator. And that means I push the funny little stick that makes the train go woo or to a stop. And this last weekend, we had Luke Combs playing up at the Ricycle Stadium. And let me tell you, nothing is more stressful than operating a long 4-car train downhill, going through crowds of 1,000+ people, trying to just basically be nice, but also terribly full of anxiety as they're running across the tracks to get out of the stadium, to get home, to get to their cars, to get out of the way. And then the platform is filled beyond the yellow line, filled with people, as you want to just go in so slow. But if you go any slower, you slow down the 10 other trains queued up behind you, ready to pick up another chunk of those people. So you have to balance between yes, no, is it time to go? And then you got to sit around and wait for the supervisors on the platform to say, you're full, get going. And then you get going, and then there's some crackhead that wants to go racing up the S-curve in between the tracks while 3 other trains on the other side are chasing up the hill. And you're just like, Jesus, is today the day? And then you get home, and then you're like, oh thank God. What do I have today? Is it Kahlua or is it Kahlua rum? I think it's Kahlua. I think we're going to have a nice little White Russian.
So that's what took me so long to get home from work on Friday. I was wondering what all the people were
There
about.
were so many people, dude.
Damn trains. Well, and one thing that I have noticed about that, right? Like if you go to like any major event downtown, and those poor light rail guys and girls, those light rail trains, right? People are dicks.
They
because
are.
the light rail's right in the road, right? It's in the rail is in the middle of the road, and people will just walk across the road. They don't give a shit if there's car traffic, train traffic. They're gonna go from here to there, and it doesn't matter who's supposed to be there.
That's every day. That's every single day. My biggest problems, I don't know their official names. They've just been dubbed the 9th and 9th bikers. It's a group of like 1,000+ people on pedal bikes that will just take up a road during the middle of the night and go for a long ride with this huge like stampede of bicyclists. And like from an outsider's standpoint, that looks so dope. Look at all these guys fucking taking over a road with a huge amount of bikes on a nice quiet road with no car traffic. But they never follow traffic laws. So when it's my turn to cross the rails to get out of the way to go home, they're still coming. And so it used to be sit and wait for these thousands of plus people to get through, and then you could go. But I just got tired of waiting, so I just turn on the bell, and I start honking the horn, and I start inching forward. And if they hit the train at that point, that's on them.
Well, yeah, and that's just rude.
Yeah.
Well, for myself, I work with people, and if you know, everybody has emotional baggage. Everybody has things that they've been damaged with, and they're just people that like to share and overshare. And I know everything about their life history. They've shared some pretty traumatic things with me, and I'm like, I am not your therapist. So I've, we'll talk about this a little bit more in the next section, but there's just some nights that I just come home and I'm just like, oh my gosh, like, I can't believe, like, I've heard all these things, and I'm like, I want to tell people about them, but also there's that form of confidentiality. Like, I have to be careful. Like, there's some times that there's been somebody that's been related to a big court case that's here in Utah that I'm working with, that I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't disclose any of this, like, information. It's just stressful. People are stressful. Sammy, you don't have to work with people.
Yes, I work with people.
So tell us about your stresses at work.
Sammy works with people's problems.
I work with people who go, why computer no worky? Why computer no worky? And I go, computer hasn't been turned off in 100 days. Try restarting the damn thing.
She needs a break too. Turn it off.
No, I mean, I work with people all day, every day. It's just a different kind where you're doing, like, that's a thing where you're dealing with the big stressors that people have, like we were saying at the beginning, was no income, no way to, struggling to make sure they have a roof over their head, struggling to make sure that they've got food in their kitchen. For me, it's I mean, I'm IT help desk, so it's really managing the equipment, but then also trying to manage and understand what the hell people are wanting from us, because sometimes they come to us and say, I need XYZ. And we go, why? That makes 0 sense. And then we go, what are you trying to do? And they're like, oh, we need to do this. And we're like, oh, we already have a solution for that. Go over here. And they're like, oh, but sometimes it's not that simple. Sometimes it is. We've got to figure out something from the ground up. But with us, it all depends. We do get our people that will stress us out. You know how you sometimes get those regular customers and you see them and you see their name and you're like,
oh my gosh, you're like,
fuck.
no, not this person.
Yeah. And everybody in the office goes, oh no. Yeah.
Wow, our
so we've
jobs
definitely
are so
got
similar.
those. Yeah.
Speaking of,
And
I'm going to go on a maintenance rant here.
Here
for a
we
second.
go,
Yes.
maintenance rant.
Yes, I love a good maintenance
Well,
rant.
because
Do your fucking
story
maintenance.
was like perfect, right? That's one thing that is so hard to get through people's heads, right? If you have a problem, don't tell me what you think the solution is. Tell me what it's doing. Tell me what the symptoms are. Tell me what it's not doing. Don't tell me what you think I should do to fix it.
Yeah. Google said you need to do this and this and this.
Right.
Well, that has nothing to do with what your actual problem is, so no.
Yeah.
Also, please do your regular maintenance on your vehicles. It's very important.
Well, let's jump into the next subject here. Let's talk about family and how family stresses are stressors. For me, I would have to say it's when family all of a sudden shares a very, very important family detail that is very time sensitive at the last second. And it's like the day after, or not day after, but the day before an event happens. And it's like, all of a sudden you're like, I have to be there for my family. And it's so stressful because you have your schedule, you have your weekend planned out. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, no, we're driving out to Timbuktu to go see somebody, or do something.
You're better than me on that then, because if they're like last minute and I've already got shit going on, I'll be like, no, I can't. Sorry. You should have told us. If you wanted us there, you needed at least give us an indication of like, hey, we're planning something around this time. We're figuring out the details, but just so you know. Because if it's like a big family, supposedly like a bigger family event where everybody is kind of supposed to be there or should be there, those things are typically planned far enough in advance that you know when they're going to happen. And if they are like, oh, we planned everything, but we just didn't tell you, or we forgot to tell you, that's not my problem. That's your problem. And I'd be like, sorry, I've already got shit scheduled.
My family just likes to plan things last minute. And I've tried, being like, hey, you know what? We're not going to be able to, do exactly what you've done. And
yeah,
I just don't go to stuff as often. And they think
we know where Rick gets it from.
Oh,
Yep.
ouch. Ouch. Hey, you know what? I appreciate you guys helping me through the weeds where it's like, oh my gosh, we have to get this done.
But yeah, it's like there's that phrase, and we like to use it on a lot at work, at least in our office, is your lack of planning does not constitute an emergency for me.
I love that saying.
If they can't plan it and figure it out, it's not my fault if it's suddenly I need this tomorrow, but I know this problem's been going on for 6 months. Well, why didn't you tell us 6 months ago?
We are not superheroes. We're not here to rescue everybody in their time of their emergencies.
Yeah. Well, and most of the times it's not. Most of the time they're not actual emergencies. It's not oh my God, Grandpa just got hit by a car and he's in the hospital. Because that is something that it's, okay, we're dropping shit, we're going kind of thing. If you have the ability to. For me, if anything like that happens and it's family across the pond or over in the UK, all we can do is just sit and wait. Having those emergencies being so far away is its own level of stress, because all you can do is just sit and wait to be updated instead of being able to go there and
get the information live.
Yeah.
Charlie, what are some family things or friend things? Not just family. Sorry. It's also friends.
I was going to say, we kind of have to include friends because
people.
I don't.
So just stressful things that family and or friends do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. Definitely on the friends side, it's more just an annoyance for me, but it does kind of stress me out, is whenever someone wants to plan something, usually by some manufacturing error, it ends up being me that has to start planning the whole thing. And I hate trying to plan stuff. I'll get it done, I'll do it right, but it just drives me bonkers. Like, I have a group chat full of coworker friends that will always complain, oh, we should do stuff now that we all have weekends off. And I say, hey, look, there's some events open this weekend. Who wants to go? And I get nothing. And it's like, that's... okay, that's fine. That's fine. I guess that's not interesting for everyone. That's cool, whatever. Or things like, I am what's called an LPI at work, which means line platform instructor, basically a teacher of students to help learn the ways of the trains and operate trains. And things that kind of stress me out are certain students who just don't have the right attitude about the job. Like, they think they know it all. They deflect any sort of criticism or anything that is like, hey, we should work on this. And they go, no, actually, I think I'm doing pretty good on this. And it's like, okay, well, you're just... And then they just continue to be a menace all day. And it's like, come on, dudes. Or like not answering the radio when control has called you like 15 times, and like it's like a handful of those things. Family-wise, I'm on the same side of my mom has a really bad habit of just being like, "Oh yeah, we're going to Hawaii next week. Can you make it?" And it's like, what? That sounds like something
You're
you
like,
should kind of
"Excuse
told
me?"
me about a long time ago. Or things like, "Oh, we have family coming over, so make sure you try and get this weekend off." And I'm like, I just had 3 planned events for this weekend. Now you tell me the week before? I think great. Now I had to decide, do I see family that I'll never see again for a long period of time, and that's if they still stick around to be alive, or do I go and hang out with my friends for this event that we've been planning for 2 years? Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah. My thing with friends is when friends, like, I want to organize something or not organize something. It's like I want to hang out with somebody, and like I'll be like, "Hey, I want to hang out," or "I want to do something," and then I don't get a reply. I'm like, "Oh, I guess they don't want to do anything." Or they're just busy, you know. But I feel like that sometimes I'm the poker. Like I feel like I'm poking. I have a stick,
the beginner,
and I'm like, "Hey, social, social." And then I get burnt out because my stick breaks, and I'm like, I'm done poking.
Well, and then the hard thing with that is not all of, like, you and Charlie and some of our other friends fall under the more extroverted side. You know, you want that social. And then there's some of us that are like, I like social, but sometimes no. Like, if I've had a week where I've been dealing with like a lot of difficult people, and there's just been a lot going on socially interacting with people, I very much come home sometimes and I go, I'm not talking to anyone for the rest of the night. I will reply to some people if they message me, but I was like, I'm not getting on like Discord chat, or I'm not doing anything that takes social braining. I'm just gonna sit down and do my thing.
And absorb the energy around you to recharge your battery.
Yes.
Well, we are running a little bit short in this particular segment. We're going to take a break, and we're going to come back, and we're going to share how we can de-stress and relax.
How we turn it off.
Yeah.
But I think we have a brief message from a sponsor. Charlie?
Am I the sponsor? Ooh, I never done this before. Let's see. Me. Hello there. Are you tired of the day-to-day processes? Fed up with reading things like multimillionaire does another stupid damn thing and spends too much fucking money on a piece of shit product that doesn't even hold up its own? Are you tired of not being able to order the McDouble cheeseburger with the exact ingredients that you want on it every time? Well, have I got a solution for you. We have a brand new resort opening up just down the road from you, and we just can't wait to tell you about it. It's called the R&R, or the rest and relaxation relatively required, really ridiculous kind of vibes. We're still workshopping the title, but stick around. Let me tell you about some of our fabulous suites that we have. We have fabulous suites that are oh so relaxing, like the Clown Room. Nothing like sharing a laugh with a funny-faced friend the entire night you're there. Or maybe you are one of your teacher's pets and you long to be returning back to the days of sitting next to the teacher and being that obnoxious little shithead while everyone else was struggling in the basic form of work. Like paperwork and blackboard walls will allow you to perform at your excellence and the highest for your teacher to be so happy with you. And speaking of performances, we have the Performance Review Room. Your boss is guaranteed to be there and explain how you are doing everything wrong since last year and not tell you how to fix it or what they plan to do with that information until it is your pink slip day. We also have another recently renovated room filled with all kinds of antiquities that we call Grandma's Living Room. It's filled to the brim with all kinds of different working clocks that are all slightly off cue. So it's just a never-ending tick-tock, tick-tock, tick-tock. Great for Zoomers. And we also have a new addition, the Microfiber Room. Everything is layered with delightful microfiber fabric that's so soft and pleasant to touch, especially if your hands are extremely rough and chapped. We also feature a popular bestseller from one of our reviews, The Dentist's Office, laughing gas sold separately. It'll feature Steve Martin as your dentist as he goes through the courses of making sure you've got the finest dental health. And last but certainly not least, this one comes to a very excruciatingly fun time. We call it the Horse 3 Suite. That's right, be able to live in one of the real-life background environments of where furries love to get plowed by macro-sized penises and gallons of cum. It even comes with a complimentary pizza pre-covered in cum. Thankfully for you, you'll be missing out on the action itself as you get to enjoy the remnants of the aftermath.
Wow, I can't
Seriously,
wait
for
to
what it's
check
worth.
in today.
Do you remember that day when we were so young?
Hey all, this is Sammy. I'm a very, very tired dog today. But hope you're enjoying this episode of For What It's Worth. As always, we appreciate everybody who listens to the show, and we hope you continue to stick around. Again, thanks for listening to For What It's Worth. Well, I mean, I don't think I want to go to that place that Charlie was talking about. It does not sound like a lot of fun.
Does sound a little weird.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. It's the right amount of relaxation.
I
And
want to
the,
try
like,
the
microfiber when you've got rough hands. Like, I've dealt with that. I hate that so much.
Hey, that one room comes with a bonus pizza. I'm excited for
It
that
does
room.
come
Yeah.
with a pizza. Extra
Comes
salty.
with a pizza. Oh,
You know, I could see
well.
Click being in that teacher room.
No, he would be in the performance review room, just like we
Wait.
talked about.
Right. Why would I be in the teacher's room? I was a good student, I will have you know.
Exactly. You were the brown noser student.
No, I wasn't necessarily a brown noser as a kid, but I knew how to play the system, that's for sure.
So that means, Voss, you're going to the clown room?
Sure, send me with the clown. I'll give him a night he won't forget.
Send in the clown.
Send him. What is it? Toss him to the clowns. He'll return their leader.
Yeah.
So, jumping back into the topic, now we're going to
Aw.
switch and talk a little bit about how we go about de-stressing. And how to find that balance, how to get back to that natural state or of where it's like, okay, we're at that okay level. So for me, I would say one of the ones that I use is laughter. Like whenever I'm nervous, I'll crack a joke. And that can be a bad thing too, especially when you're in an interview, because I've done that before. I was interviewing for the DMV And I was so nervous that I started cracking jokes and stuff like that during the interview and making it as fun as possible. But the DMV does not want fun.
They know. Have you ever been there?
That's where Rue failed to read the room. But anyways, laughter for me usually helps. You know, something that's a little bit more lighthearted or something that's fun. You know, sometimes I'll watch like a comedy show of some sort, or you know, that can kind of help me a little bit, or just hanging out with a friend and enjoying time with them, or, you know, cracking jokes together. Like that helps me to alleviate my, you know, my peril or my stress or my anxiety that I'm.
Rue, I know something you like to do to de-stress.
No, Nuka's
No,
not
I'm
here.
not going to say that. God, why do you keep doing that?
It
You
is
did it last
chronic.
night. I was going to say you like watching game shows.
Oh yeah, I do.
God.
Well, like I said, it is a chronic problem.
I
He
know.
does it while watching game shows.
No,
Probably.
no. Oh, the price is right. The price is right.
Look, I get
Gotta
it.
get that double bonus. Gotta get that double
When
bonus.
Drew Carey lost all that weight, it's a different perspective.
Oh no. Oh man, when they say spade and neuter their pets, it just gets me every time. So, anyways, yeah, no, I love watching game shows. I don't know, it's fun. But I
Are
do,
you still on a reality TV kick?
you know, I do watch reality TV shows. Those are kind of fun too. It just depends on what it is. Like if it's like The Bachelorette, like where somebody's like fallen in love and like, ooh, am I gonna choose this person? Am I gonna give them a rose? It's like, no, this is like shit. I'm not gonna watch that stuff. So
I was going to say something, but it's... Anyway.
no, you started.
Nope.
Go for it.
Oh, I was going to say, don't worry. We can always give you a rose.
Oh, oh my gosh! Wow, Sammy.
I know. My brain.
So Charlie,
Hmm?
I know that you like to laugh. What are some of the things that you do to help de-stress?
Oh, well, there's a little game called Hat Simulator 2, or formerly known as Team Fortress 2. And there is nothing funnier than watching half of these guys get ragdolled all the way across the map. And that's usually one of my go-tos when I just need a little bit of turn off the brain. Let's just get something done. That's like some S-tier comedy. You watch someone get all cocky, and then you watch their body go flying 30 miles the other way because the other person caught them, and it's like, that's what you get, you punk. And then you just find them later, and you just goof, you just hang out. It's just boys being dudes being guys. It's just a bunch of funny little things, and I love it. That's one of my few ways of getting a good laugh. Otherwise, just some classic comedies, YouTubes, or thinking about a joke or like a really dumb pun that just gets it going. Like, what do you call two monkeys that share an Amazon account?
What?
Primates.
No.
It's so dumb, but it's so
Charlie, I can already see you love those dad jokes.
I may not be a father, but I'll be your daddy, and I love dad jokes.
Wow.
He's got the mustache for it.
I got a handlebar on this thing.
Wow.
I wonder how many furries are putting that on repeat. We need to clip
that's
that.
free.
That'll
Boss,
be a sound clip.
Please clip that.
Oh, I love a good pun. That's
So
good.
Sammy,
Easy.
what do you do to de-stress?
Sometimes I think it depends on the kind of stress and what's causing me stress. Sometimes it's going to my partner and saying, I'm going to rant at you for a minute. Is that okay? and then I rant and rave about whatever is bothering me, which kind of helps get it out. I feel like sometimes it gets it out a little quicker. Other times, as Eli has said and others have said, is sitting down, playing a video game or watching a show that's something I like or I like to watch. It's just making sure I'm doing something I want to do and that I'm not doing something someone else wants me to do. Another thing, well, I wouldn't really say this is a de-stressing thing. Maybe it is a little bit. But it falls more into my dealing with my depression when that kicks up, is I have found great relaxation in laying on the floor, like face down, flopped out on the floor, with my music on shuffle, or even in just a quiet room, and just laying there for a little bit and not doing anything else, just laying there.
Just loafing around.
Yeah. Sometimes the dogs will come up and be like, "Ooh, is it time to play?" And I'm like, "No." But I can typically coerce one of them into snuggling for a little bit, so that's always nice as well. But yeah, I find it oddly relaxing to just go in like a quiet room, maybe the lights off, and just have little to no noise. And then after about 30 minutes or so, I'm like, okay, I need to get up. My body's hurting. and then I get up.
Click. What do you do for de-stressing?
I work.
That de-stresses you? I mean, for some it does.
Yeah.
Well, it's most people give me a bunch of shit, but most of the games I play are some sort of work simulator.
This is true. I have seen that.
I come home from work and work.
Yeah.
But it's a reality thing, right? It seems like most examples people are giving, and most examples that I have, are escaping reality, right? Because the real world sucks.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's the thing, is it's like, because I've had people ask, it's like, well, you come home from work and you get on the computer and you work, like, just adding more stress. Well, it's not really adding more stress, because in a farming simulator or a construction simulator, there's no risk. I don't have to worry about it. I can just do what I know or what I like, and it's not reality. It's not stressful. And if it becomes stressful, you're doing it wrong.
Yeah. It's one of those things where if by the time you get to a certain point, you're like, ah, shit, that's not how I wanted that to go. You can restart it, or you can go back to an older save file.
Or mod the shit out of it. Which is also fun. I've been doing that a lot with Final Fantasy XIV, and that's been so much fun. But yeah, it's just, basically a way to get out of, whatever you can do to get out of normal life, get out of the real world, escape for a minute. Movies and music do that for people, right? When you're watching a movie, at least for me, if it's an interesting movie that you can get engrossed in, that's all that exists. You're not thinking about, everything else in the real world. You're not thinking about life and bills and responsibilities. You're thinking about what's going on in that movie. Or in your music, you can just zone out and not think about anything, right? So I think it's, like I said, just unplug from reality, right? Get away from real life, which maybe is bad advice.
No, I think it's great advice, because I mean, that's a lot of what the furry fandom is about. Giving yourself a chance to jump into something else, to be something else, to be your true version of you and who you are.
Right.
And to be able to just just relax. It is a form of escapism. I mean, people have said it before. Some people are like, "Oh, that's bad." It's not the greatest thing in the world. But just being able to, that's what I love about the furry fandom, and also what I've been enjoying about VR. Like, I could quite literally have the most worst stressful day, but then I could jump into like VR and stare at my foxy self for 20-30 minutes, wiggle my tail a little bit, and yay,
Wiggle his other things.
I'm fine. I'm the happy lovey fox all over again, and things are back to normal. Sorry, what were you saying?
Oh no, I said you can wiggle your other things too.
I don't have those things.
Yeah. Let's be real. 30 minutes? Come on.
Come on.
Rue stares at himself in the VR mirror for hours.
Okay, all right. I have a confession to make. I've been able to learn how to put a permanent mirror in front of you, but make it so it's transparent.
So yeah, so you can see it, but nobody
so
else
you're
can.
looking at yourself 100% of the time.
So he's always looking at himself, even when he's talking
That
to
is
you.
very true. That is very true. I'm still looking at myself. But it helps me because then I'm able to make sure that I'm animating, what I'm trying to speak, whether
Right.
it's like a sad emotion or a happy emotion. Because in some way, VR, it's also a form of puppeteering. You're jumping into an avatar. So yeah, it's a performance type thing of why I have that. But that definitely helps me to de-stress a little bit. I think that hanging out with friends, like usually something that my significant other will come to me and say, he'll be like, Rue, hun, you need to go message somebody and you need to hang out with somebody. And I'm like, no, I don't want to. I just want to be here and just wallow in my own things. Like, I just want to feel emotions. He's like, no, stop it. Like, go do this or
Stop it.
Stop it. Get some help.
or he'll come to me and be like, you should play this video game. You should do this. So in some ways, my significant other is very helpful to me to be able to, get me into a better mindset when he knows that I'm having a bad day. So that's helpful. Voss.
And I think I was gonna say,
Oh, go for it, Sammy.
you're I was just gonna say because to go back with Click where it was escapism and finding ways to forget about things for a while, and it is a good thing to do, but as with many things, it's all things in moderation. If you're doing that 90% of the time because you just don't want to deal with anything, then maybe you need to take a look and figure out what you can potentially do to actually try and reduce some of the stress in your life. But if it's coming home from work and you're like, I've worked a full day and you've had dinner and you're ready to relax and you spend the rest of your evening till bedtime playing your farm simulator, then go for it.
Well, Sammy, I think what you're talking about is setting boundaries. It's super important to be able to, set boundaries and know when it's like, hey, this is what my limit is. This is, to be able to set those boundaries and be able to, I don't know. Anyways, sorry. I lost my train of thought. Choo choo. Choo choo. The train left my brain. But I think it's important to set boundaries with people or with things. Like, you could fall in love with something and like, for example, if I was to play VR all the time because I just wanted to be my foxy self and that's all that I wanted to do at all points in time, that would be bad. Even though that's something that brings me a lot of joy and comfort. Well, but then I'm avoiding everything else. So, but at the same exact time, if you have this thought of, I don't know, going to work and you're like, at which we all have those feelings of, oh, I have to go to work. You kind of have this like anxiety or stress potentially, but if your stress level is extremely, extremely high when you're thinking about work or a subject or talking to a friend, then maybe there's something that you need to change or that you need to set a boundary for, just to be able to help you. Because that's what, the number one thing is nobody is going to be able to help you. They might be able to guide you to where you need to go to drink the water to de-stress, but you're the one that's going to have to get there. You're the one that's going to have to travel that bridge to figure out how to get you to de-stress itself. And if you're choosing activities that's just going to add more anxiety and more stress, that's not going to help you. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
This has been Rue Talk with Destressing Lives. Now we go on to the Cookie Monster. Cookie Monster, what's your favorite cookie?
Well, my favorite cookie is peanut butter cookie. I love it.
Peanut butter.
It's very good, very tasty.
Peanut butter cookie.
Going back to the subject, boss, what do you do to de-stress?
I don't.
You don't?
That's it, ladies and gentlemen. We've got it.
Nope. I don't. I just have anxiety attacks and panic attacks, and I don't sleep, and it's great. Life's great.
Just normal things.
You just hold it in all
Yeah.
points in time.
Yep. That's what I do. I'm healthy.
Well, what do you do if you can't de-stress? What if the things you normally do that make you feel good aren't making you feel good?
Which that happens.
What do you do in those situations? Like, that is very much a thing that happens, and I know I've had trouble with that, where it's, I want to go do the thing that will make me, hopefully help me make me relax, and then I get there and I'm doing it, and I'm going, this sucks. I hate all of this. I don't want to do this. And you just kind of sit there. Like, there's a point where it just kind of has to live there. And I feel we can't always get away from the stress, and you just have to let it process. Let it go through the motions. Let it happen. Hopefully deal with whatever's going on, and it'll eventually pass. But there are points where you just have to let that be what it is and recognize that, yeah, I'm stressed the fuck out. We're just going to have to ride it and see what happens.
I think something that I've seen you do before, Sammy, is sometimes you'll step back.
Yeah.
You'll step back from the situation, and that helps you to be able to refocus.
Not always graciously. But yes, that is one of those things where it's like, and then I kind of blow up and break things, figuratively speaking.
It's okay. You break me all the time.
Yeah, but you like that.
No, I don't. Yeah. Charlie. What do you do to de-stress?
Well, other ways I like to distress are going for a walk with a podcast or just some beats in my head. Something that just, I can tell myself I don't have to think about anything. And I can just get out, go for a little stroll. This helps a lot, especially when I've had a stressful day at work and I've got that little 15-minute break. Instead of cooping up in the shack, I'll just put in some jams and go for a walk around the break area before returning and getting a cooler head and just thinking about funnier things. Another thing I really enjoy doing is I call it classy mode. And I made a joke about it in the intro, but it is something I do genuinely do from time to time. I have them saved as hot links in my bookmarks bar. I have Rainy Mood set up with 1 hour of Fragrance of Dark Coffee on loop. It's like a jazz song that's pretty nice. And then a fireplace. And I'll just open up the fireplace, get the jazz going, let some rain in the background. I'll just kind of vibe in that area for a little while and just kind of
chill. Maybe read some texts, catch up on some things, read stories, all while the smooth sounds of ambience has entranced me into a different realm and I feel a little fancy. Maybe I'll put on one of my smoking jackets and nothing else, so I feel a little saucy, get a little distracted, feel a little naughty, and just doing all these things to get away from the thing that was making me absolutely peeved or like annoyed or having like things running around in my head. I just kind of change the environment, and that helps me a lot getting out of that stressful like environment.
Yeah. I gotta ask, are you wearing only the smoking jacket when you're out on these walks?
Sometimes on the walks, no. It depends. I have been known to put on a fitted fedora. Yes, like a proper wide brim fedora, my trench coat, and maybe a classy outfit if it's really windy, and then let the wind blow my trench coat around, because that's pretty fun. When I go on the walks, it's usually whatever I'm currently wearing, which is mostly clothes, hopefully. I get a little embarrassed if I'm more than naked outside. I don't have that perfect confidence in my physique yet. So it's nice to put on like a little Hawaiian shirt or something and some shorts and just go for a little stroll. And I live right by a canyon, so I can go down into it if I really need to and just kind of listen to the water. Go ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da.
Well, and yeah, I know for some folks
they have different strokes, yeah.
Different strokes for different folks, as they like to say.
As they love to say.
But yeah, doing a physical activity, running, walking, maybe go play DDR or something that can physically, where you can move your body and kind of work through that emotion, but also it's working your body to a point where that's what you're focused on, is how your body is feeling in the moment, and not focusing so much on what's going on in your head. And yeah, there's many, many ways to find ways to de-stress. I think it can be hard, though, to find a good way to de-stress. I think a lot of people, there's lots of things out there that say, oh, this is how you de-stress. This is what you should do to de-stress. This is how to manage stress in your life. Everybody's got their opinions on what you should do or shouldn't do. But so much of that comes down to the individual. Because for me, going for a run, sometimes, even going for a walk or something simple, I'm like, that is not de-stressing. That is not something that puts me out of my misery. That is more miserable to me. So it takes time, and sometimes it takes work to figure out how to manage that, and how to manage life, and how you're going to get through it.
One thing that works for you isn't going to work for me. Not necessarily.
Yep.
I mean, it may or it may not. So I think that that's sound advice. Just, try different things. Try to figure it out and
try everything.
Yeah, exactly. Watch Zootopia 20 times. You'll be great.
I mean, to be fair, Zootopia has cured a lot of things in my life.
Well, on that note,
arms up, everyone.
Arms up. Let's go to the next segment. So let's
Okay.
go on for a little break, and we'll have our patron. We will have our final thoughts. And guess what, guys? We have a letter in the mailbag. So stay tuned.
We just got a letter.
Yay.
We just got a letter. We just got a letter. I wonder who it's from.
everybody. It's Rue.
Oh,
You ready for another wonderful episode? Just kidding. Just kidding. You did. I promise. This is the end of the episode. You didn't accidentally hit the button to skip or anything like that. I was just joking with you. So,
well, it did
we're
confuse
at
me
the-
for a second, so.
I know. That's why I did it on purpose. So, I think it's that time for patron worship. I brought my earmuffs today, so we're gonna see if that helps.
Good luck.
Oh gosh, no, it doesn't.
Does it make it worse?
Is this Patreon?
Yes.
Yes.
We would like to thank our fabulous Patreons once again for contributing to the show. We're here to personally thank Anthallo, Nuka, Basel the Dragon, Black Baldrik, Lufis the Raccoon, Tenax the Raccoon, Eli, Plug, Ausi Kat, Chaphogriff, Lygris, Christian, Ichigo Ookami, Meng times 3, Sage, Light Fang, Tire 52, and Victor Mutt. Thank you for your generous donations.
Oh my gosh, it's over.
I think you need to read them slower, Charlie.
No, please
'Cause-
read them faster.
Because then it just draws out Rue's pain.
You're correct. Let me try it again. Boot it up. Here we go.
No. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for being amazing patrons. You guys have no idea how much that you have supported us throughout the years. It's always been our dream to be able to host this show without cost. And because of your support, generous support, it's been able to help us so that we don't have additional costs. We're always looking at doing more things, more awesome things. So if you believe in this show, if it's helped you in some way or form, you don't have to necessarily be a patron. It would be great for you to consider being a patron, but you just being here is super important to us. So, anywho, should we move on to our final thoughts? Click. What's your final thoughts?
Why are you always picking on me? God.
Because you do the same to me.
Are you stressed out?
Yeah,
What are you going to say,
that's
Click?
picking on
What are you
me.
going to say?
Potatoes.
Potatoes.
Potato.
No, like I said, just, find a way to escape reality because the real world sucks. At least for a minute.
Sammy.
Ditto. No. Yeah. Stress sucks. It happens to us all. It really does. Life is stressful. So finding the things that make you happy and that you enjoy doing when you're having to also deal with those things is very important. And taking time for yourself is also very important. And it's hard to do, but it's something that we should all strive to do as we can.
Charlie.
Hmm?
Yeah.
Stress. It's a real bummer. But sometimes you don't have to go alone. You can always talk to friends, change your environment, and just find ways to stop really thinking about it. I know it's easier said than done, but when you can do it and you find a good, healthy coping mechanism, it can really help you tackle all of life's weird challenges that kind of just keep finding their little way here because they're, a little quirky.
Boss.
Go into the shower and get yourself a nice good cry.
With or without your clothes?
Either or. Depends on how much time you've got.
Both are good options.
Well, I guess my final thought is, we all have scars. We all have stress. We all have things that have happened to us throughout our life. But there's ways that you can de-stress. There's ways that you can actually take time for yourself. And that's what's important. And the only person that's going to be able to help you to de-stress is yourself. And in the end, you may have friends that will lead you down to basically say, hey, this is what you need to do, or this is what you need to, these are the steps you need to take, or they'll hang out with you, or different things like that. But, in the end, you have to make kind of like an actual choice in your brain to walk through the door and just be like, I'm just going to let it. Anywho, that's it for this particular lovely topic. Let us go on to the mailbag. Sammy, I think that you have that.
I sure do. Let's see. So it's a little bit of a longer one, so bear with me if I, make any of those good mistakes. So, this says, Dear Cast of For What It's Worth, I'm writing to you to share how you helped me on my long journey to finding furry, and then furry helped me to find myself. My brother came out as gay some 18 years ago. I was aware back then that he was into something called furry. I now know that what he had developed is the persona of a tiger. I've always had a pretty accepting view of people's interests and sexual orientation, even if I didn't understand it. As long as it wasn't harming anyone, I didn't really care. I don't expect everyone to understand and share my interests, such as my passion for model trains. Likely my views come from a lot of school bullying in my youth where I just wanted to be left alone. Fast forward in my life to 5 years ago. I went back to school for a cybersecurity degree, and my kids got me into watching My Little Pony. Last year, I started expanding my knowledge on social issues by listening to podcasts. I wanted to learn more about what my brother went through coming out as gay and expand my knowledge on the LGBTQ issues. The LGBTQ podcast would sometimes talk about people in furry using their personas to explore their identities. That's when I looked for a podcast to learn about furry. I came to you to learn about furry, but ended up continuing to listen because you were all so friendly and funny. When I got into My Little Pony, and I got into the art and found out a lot of the artists also make furry art. At first, I denied it, but one of those days as I looked at my growing collection of digital furry art, my plush animal collection, my MLP figures, and the plush fox I sleep with, I said to myself, ah, crap, I am one. All that was left for me now was to attend the local furry con. In April of this year, I attended my first convention. I told my wife that I was going to be gone for the weekend at a Comic-Con. It was a big step for me as I generally avoid social events. They just make me nervous. I freely admit to a few tears of excitement as I pulled up to the hotel and saw the first fursuiters. I had a blast meeting all the friendly furries there. After the con, I quickly started working on my own fursona, a purple and white fluffy dragon named Basel. As much as it was exciting figuring out what I would look like as an anthro character, the process made me look deep inside myself. I started to realize what a toll that childhood bullying had taken on me, that I have social anxiety, and that I likely fall somewhere on the Asperger's spectrum. I'm slowly starting to seek help for these issues. My view on the world has also shifted. Today, I no longer simply see myself as accepting of everyone's identities, but as actively championing everyone's rights to express themselves freely as to how they want to be seen. I still feel a bit cringe for myself as I enter the furry fandom, already a gray muzzle, but I have learned to embrace the cringe. I think I would regret it if I didn't explore furry. Thank you for all that you bring to the world. Your friend, Basel the Dragon. Thank you, Basel. That's amazing. And, we're so glad we could help your journey in some way in finding furry and, maybe finding a little part of yourself that you weren't quite as aware of. And I hope your continued journey is exciting and you get to meet some great people and continue to meet great people and just have fun and enjoyment, and that it's a great part of your life moving forward.
Thank you for reaching out. Let me tell you, just having having these emails is what makes us, we put a lot of time into the show, and it's sometimes, I'll be honest, sometimes the show can be a little bit stressful at certain times. But overall, emails like these are what really helps us to continue. So thank you. All right. On to the next subject. It's housekeeping time. Yay! So with housekeeping, here's a couple of things that we want you to know. First of all, our website is forwhatitsworth.com. If you like the show, you can go onto the website, explore. Maybe there's another topic that's there that you want to listen to. We're on Blue Sky, Twitter, Mastodon, and we're on Facebook as well. We're all at forwhatitsworth.com. You can also go on Telegram. If you would like to join our Telegram group, just contact me directly. It's at WineRedFox, and I will get you added as soon as possible. Once again, that's not Winerd Fox. It's Wine Red Fox.
Winerd.
Email cast@forwhatitsworth.com. We love hearing from you. If you liked this particular topic and you want to provide some feedback, positive and negative, feel free to go ahead and send that over to us. Or you can send us individual emails, at ru@forwhatitsworth.com, boss@forwhatitsworth.com, click@forwhatitsworth.com, and eventually it will be charlie@forwhatitsworth.com, but we're not there yet. So if you want to message Charlie, send it to cast@forwhatitsworth.com, and we'll make sure to get it forwarded over to him. Or you can get on Telegram and message him. So also we have SpeakPipe, speakpipe.com/forwhatitsworth. If you're having trouble with SpeakPipe, which as you heard today, somebody had trouble with it, you can always send an audio file to cast@forwhatitsworth.com. We love hearing from you. It gives different voices to the show, and it also makes it so I don't have to read it, and everybody laughs, and I feel embarrassed and get stressed. Also, tell a friend about the show itself. We don't have a lot of marketing dollars that we throw out, so basically all that we do is it's word of mouth. So if you have an episode that you think would help a friend, toss it their way, and retweet. All of those things help us a lot. Or it's not retweet anymore. What is it now?
It's retweet.
It's still retweet.
Still retweet?
Yeah. Like, all the terminology is still the same, which is,
We just don't acknowledge the new one.
Unless you're on Blue Sky, then it's reskeet.
Reskeet.
So, what is the next episode?
Looking at the schedule, it looks like our next episode is going to be about fursuit lounges.
Oh, boy.
So I think we're going to probably talk about kind of what they are, why they are, who they are, when they are.
You mean that place that you can only enter if you have fursuit?
Sometimes, yes.
Sometimes.
So, yeah, well, that'll be the next one. So put your ideas together if you have any thoughts on those, or if you've managed a fursuit lounge at a convention or have helped set one up somewhere. It would be awesome to know kind of what people do in preparation for one. But also keep an eye out on the socials for when to get the emails in for that episode, and we'll let you know when we're recording that one.
Absolutely. We also want to hear, like, what are some good experiences that you've had in Fursuit Lounge? What are some bad experiences that you've had? Like, we'd love to share those on the show as well. All right. I guess it's that time. I have some cookies in the oven. I need to go get them.
Yeah, probably before they burn the house down.
Possibly. This has been Rue.
This has been Sammy.
And Click.
And Boss.
And Charlie.
And this has been
For what it's worth.
For what it's worth.